And now, taking a look at some news from across North Carolina, the Associated Press is reporting that proposed legislation could include penalties for people who are arrested while wearing a mask during protests. Now, critics say that it could make it illegal to wear a mask in public as a way to protect against COVID-19 or for other health reasons. Republican supporters say the legislation, which passed its first committee on Tuesday, May the 14th, was prompted in part by the recent wave of protest happening on universities nationwide, including the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. The recent protests are against Israel's war in Gaza. Republican Senator Buck Newton brushed off concerns that getting rid of pandemic-era exemptions on masks was overly broad, saying he expects authorities to use good common sense. Now, while the main thrust of the bill enhances penalties for people wearing a mask during a crime or intentionally blocking traffic during protest, most concerns centered on the health and safety exemption. The Associated Press reports that according to the bill's summary, people could no longer wear masks in public for medical reasons. Now, the mask exemption was originally added to state statutes in 2020, mostly along bipartisan lines. During public comment, several speakers voiced disapproval for the bill. Melissa Price Crom, the executive director of the North Carolina For the People Voter Engagement Coalition, called the legislation an anti-protest bill that aimed to curb free speech. If passed, the bill would enhance punishments for people using a mask to disguise their identity while committing a crime, making their misdemeanor or felony one class higher than if they were not wearing a mask. Intentionally blocking traffic or obstructing emergency vehicles for a protest would also be criminalized. Now, since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, instances of pro-Palestinian protesters blocking roadways have occurred all across the country. In recent weeks, tensions escalated on UNC's campus with several arrests and clashes with police. The Associated Press reports that many demonstrators wore masks during those protests.